Good afternoon. My name is Jason Wilhite, and I'm the president of the Wilhite Group, Investigations and Consulting. And I'd like to share with you today a little bit about a crime trend that's very prevalent these days. And that is the hijacking or cloning of magnetically striped cards. And that can be a credit card, a debit card, a bank card, a gift card from a store, health club memberships. I mean, it goes on and on. These days, people are putting so much information on cards, it's unbelievable. I have my notes here, so bear with me. If I look down, I'm not ignoring you. There used to be a time, even in the last 10 years, where a lot of people would keep cash in their wallets to cover any purchases they'd make, maybe at a restaurant or at a store, in case the place didn't take debit cards. That's just not an issue anymore. Nearly everywhere you go, even small carts, kiosks, even tented stands at flea markets and farmers markets will take credit cards and debit cards, because these days with the increased popularity of sites like PayPal and other sites that utilize hardware that you can put right on your smartphone or your tablet, such as your iPad or Android tablet, they can take credit cards that way. So it's virtually non-issue for a place not to take credit cards anymore. It's very rare you find a place that won't take cards. One of the problems with that is that it also makes it easy for thieves to steal your information. Now, I did a little experiment, and let me give you a little history on this. I know that the information I'm giving is correct, as some of the previous criminal cases that I've worked involved folks who utilized equipment such as this and methods such as this to steal people's card information. So the first search that I did, the only search that I did as a matter of fact, in the search box was, I believe, a Google search, and I typed in portable card reader and cloner into the search box and hit enter. The very first page that came up, and I would say the fifth or sixth or seventh listing down from the top, I think it was the fifth listing, showed me a site. Interesting, by the name of the website, it kind of caters to the criminal element, I believe. They would lead you to believe, at least from the name of the site and some of the equipment that they sell on this site. For $299, I was able to find a very small credit card reader, or magnetic stripped card reader. $299, and that's not much for an investment to make thousands from stealing from good folks around the world. So $299. What this machine does is you attach it to your computer, and I would even imagine these days you would be able to attach it to some tablets, depending if you had the right software or not. But you'll hook it to a laptop, a computer, what have you. You will swipe the card. Immediately, that card information is then transferred to the computer. And not only can you see the card information, including name, address, account information, and a variety of other things, but you can change it so that you can then keep the account information, such as the account number and the money on the card, but change the name so that when it's swiped and you show your ID, then you can use it. They also had card embossers, if you wanted to go that far, where you could emboss and make the cards, because of the fact that this credit card reader comes with 10 blank credit cards for your convenience. Pretty amazing. Something else to consider is you don't even necessarily have to have the card. Just the information, and changing that information on there allows you to buy stuff online. Now, yes, there is protection online where they'll check with the account to see if, and what they usually do is they'll check the zip code that you put in when you're buying your product online, and if it matches, they'll do it. But that's the beauty of this credit card reader for thieves, is they can change whatever information they want, so then when you go to buy it online and they do that verification, it comes back to whatever information this particular thief has put into their computer and changed on that card. So it can take probably, I would say, about a minute to swipe a card, change what information you want, and drain that account. I mean, it's very scary. So here's some things that you can do to safeguard yourself from having this type of theft happen to you. You know, no matter how careful we all are, we're all susceptible to crime. But the more we pay attention and the more we watch, the safer we become. And the more thieves know that we're going to watch and pay attention, well, then they have to alter their methods. And that helps us as consumers and as citizens. One of the big places that this can happen, this credit card cloning, is when you're at restaurants, cafes, places where waiters or waitresses would take your order. Now, I'm not saying that all waiters or waitresses are thieves, but this is definitely something that happens. Let's say you have your meal and you want to pay by debit card. Well, typically they'll bring you a bifold leather or plastic exterior with cardboard interior ticket holder. And they'll slip that receipt in there for you that gives you the price of your meal. And right in the top there's a real convenient space just to slip your debit or credit card down into, or gift card for that matter. Usually it's debit or credit though. So you go ahead and you slip your card in there. Well, then your card disappears from your view for most people, because typically the waiter or waitress, unless you pay at the front, which I always do and think that you should as well, it disappears for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, and you get it back with the receipt. What you don't know is that when that card is gone, again, it takes about that much time to swipe your card through a second card reader and take all that account information to put on their computer for later use. I mean, they don't have to sit there and change it right there. They can swipe it in half a second to a second from the computer that's sitting in their backpack in the employee break room that they swing by. Or for that matter, if it's a business where the management's in on it. Not saying that that's what happens with all restaurants. Most people are pretty respectable, most businesses are pretty respectable, but it does happen. Then it could happen right out in the open. They might have one right at the register as well. So again, keep your eyes on your card. If you see your card swiped through a second card reader, ask why. If you see it swiped through twice, ask why. It's okay to ask questions. When you're at the restaurant and the waitress wants your card, tell her that you'd be happy to pay, but you'd like to pay right at the register so that you can keep your eyes on it. And no reputable restaurant or honest restaurant should ever have a problem with you keeping your eyes on your credit card. That's okay. Another thing to think about is women's purses are extremely susceptible. As men, we have wallets, and while they can still be pickpocketed, it's a lot more difficult than swiping a wallet out of a purse. Maybe we're sitting in a movie theater and we set our purse down next to us, and the guy next to us slips his hand in there, grabs the card, and swipes it through his little card reader on his smartphone or his PDA, or for that matter, his portable card reader, or for that matter on his backpack. He's got it open enough just to swipe that card, and then slips it right back in your wallet and back in your purse without knowing. Sounds like a lot of steps, but for an experienced thief, that can take about 20 to 30 seconds, and you would never know it was gone. Whatever you do, watch your card. That is the very most important thing you can do to save yourself from having your card cloned. Make sure your eyes are on your card at all times. Thanks for taking your time with me today. I hope I was able to help a little bit to give you the information that you need to protect yourself. So we'll be back next time with another segment of security related or investigations related issues that relate to the general public. Thank you from the Wilhite Group, and thank you from myself, Jason Wilhite, and have a pleasant afternoon.